Welcome to the very first Thunder debate of the War Room. Should be a good one. In the left corner, we have Cancel Bex. And then in the right corner, we have Mr. Tyler Bluntman. This is going to be an hour-long debate. Get your popcorn ready. Should be very entertaining. Bella's going to be taking over from here with the coin toss and with managing everything as far as the time. I'm going to reiterate so that everybody knows how this goes. You're going to get a 5-minute opening statement. You're going to get a 3-minute critique. And then there's going to be a 30-minute open dialogue between the both of you, followed by a 5-minute closing from the both of you. So with that being said, if everybody's good to go, Bella, are you good?
Absolutely.
Okay. Bluntman, are you good?
Oh, yeah.
Bex, are you good?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. So I am going to step away. Officer is actually here, so he can help moderate with you as well, Belle. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
I guess he dropped down. Okay. If Officer wants to come up, that's fine. I got to go do some stuff. I will be listening in as best as I can, but I'm definitely going to have to do a couple of things here. So y'all enjoy. I'll catch up with y'all in about an hour.
All righty. Welcome to Red Room, Blue Room. And today's going to be a Thunder debate. Bex versus Bluntman. Okay. Bex, do y'all want to do the heads or tails? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, flip a coin.
All right. Want to hear it? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, shit. No, come back. Okay. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Bluntman?
Well, he doesn't get a
There's only one of two. Bro, this is already starting off bad, dog. This is, are you sure you want, this is the fucking host, man?
All right, it's tails. It's tails.
All right, Bluntman, you get to decide who goes first.
Yeah, you can go first.
All right.
All right, starting now. 5 minutes.
In discussions of SA, there is a long-standing pattern of shifting focus away from offenders and onto victims. One of the most common examples is the claim that a woman's clothing can influence or invite SA. Today, I will argue that clothing has no moral or casual role in SA. SA is a product of power, control, and offender behavior, not victim expression. In the United States, approximately 1 in 4 women will experience SA in their lifetime, along with 1 in 6 men. Yet, despite these numbers, the focus is often placed on what victims were wearing rather than why offenders choose to act. Historically, victim-blaming narratives such as, "look at what she was wearing," have been used to deflect responsibility away from offenders. In fact, California recognized this issue by passing legislation in 2021 restricting the use of victims' clothing as evidence in the Grape Shield Act because it is not relevant to consent. Clothing is a form of self-expression, but more importantly, it is not a form of consent. Consent must be explicit, ongoing, and freely given. It cannot be inferred from appearance, behavior, or assumption. If clothing could be interpreted as consent, then where does that logic end? Does smiling imply consent? Does being attractive imply consent? This reasoning quickly collapses into absurdity. Research consistently shows that SA is more often committed by someone the victim knows, not a stranger reacting to appearance. This further undermines the idea that clothing plays a meaningful role. Notably, when men are victims of SA, we rarely hear arguments about what they were wearing, highlighting a clear inconsistency of how responsibility is assigned. At its core, SA is about choice, the offender's choice to violate another person's autonomy. Shifting that responsibility onto clothing is not only unsupported by evidence, but also undermines the principle of personal accountability. Clothing is an expression, assault is an action, and only one of those carries moral responsibility. I would like to cover a couple definitions in my opening statement. The definitions that I will be covering are grape, which is unlawful sexual activity and usually sexual intercourse carried out forcibly or under threat of injury against a person's will or with a person who is beneath a certain age or incapable of valid consent because of mental illness, mental deficiency, intoxication, unconsciousness, or deception. The second one is sexual assault, which is illegal sexual contact without consent or is inflicted upon a person who is incapable of giving consent as because of age, physical or mental incapacity, or who places the assailant, such as a doctor, in a position of trust or authority. The third is consent, which is to give assent or approval, and autonomy, which is the ability of a rational agent to act according to their own self-governing moral law rather than being influenced by outside factors or inclinations. And if you agree to those definitions, that will conclude my opening statement.
You have 1 minute and 55, 54, 53 minutes.
I'm good.
She said she's good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you. So Bluntman, give me 1 second so I can start your timer. And go ahead. 5 minutes.
Sure. So today I'm going to be defending a very specific claim, and I want to be clear about it from the start so there's no confusion. My claim is not that clothing causes assault. My claim is that a woman's attire increases the chances of her being assaulted due to how attire affects perception and behavior. I'm going to show you that in a few parts. First, the attire influences perception and increases objectification. Second, I'm going to show you that objectification increases aggression and tolerance for harmful behavior towards women. And then third, that tolerance increases the likelihood of assault itself. Now, I have about 10 sources. Just let me know when anybody needs them, so that I have a lot. We're referencing is a peer-reviewed review titled Dress and Sex, a review of empirical research involving human participants. It analyzes over 2 decades of controlled studies on how clothing affects perception. Now, researchers will take a photo of the same woman, right? They have all these participants, and they take photos of the same woman. Same face, same setting, and the only thing that they change, the only variable is her clothing, whether it's modest versus more revealing, showing more skin. And then the participants evaluate her. And when the clothing becomes more revealing, showing more skin, or perceived as more sexualized, participants rate her higher in sexual availability, promiscuity, and flirtatious intent, while at the same time rating her lower in competence, lower in intelligence, and lower in all seriousness. So as sexual perception of her goes up, her perceived agency goes down. The study also is going to show that people focus more on her body and physical cues and less on her personality, less on her thoughts, less on her intentions. The focus moves from who she is to what she looks like. And that's objectification, prioritizing the body over the mind. And researchers also run scenarios in these experiments. They take the same situation, same actions, only the clothing changes. For example, they give a scenario where a man and a woman meet at a park, meet at a party. They meet at a party, they talk, maybe a little flirtation, unwanted sexual encounter, some kind of assault of some kind. The participants were asked, did she lead them on? How responsible is she? How serious is what happened? And when she's dressed more revealingly, people are more likely to say that she assumed greater sexual intent. She's assigned more responsibility to her in this assault, and and they judge the situation as less severe of this thing happening. Same situation, just a different clothing and completely different judgment. It shows that her attire systematically shifts perception in ways that increase focus on the body, decrease perceived agency, and change how behavior is interpreted. That is objectification. Now, in modern experiments, researchers manipulate objectification a little bit more directly. They present an actual in real life woman, have the study for this too, in clothing that emphasizes her body versus her more as a person, and then measure how participants behave toward her, right? They give the participants the ability to blow things like a loud horn at her or give her some other type of punishment that's, mild. And surprise, surprise, the participants are far more aggressive towards her when she wears more revealing and objectifying attire. Same person, just more objectified, aggression goes up. And at the same time, those same objectification conditions are linked to greater victim blaming, more willingness to justify a man's actions, and a higher score on what's called great proclivity, which is meaning willingness if there were no consequences. So when someone is seen as less of a full person, judged as more sexually available, or blamed more for what happens to them, right, you've created the exact psychological conditions where harmful behavior becomes easier to carry out and easier to justify. And that leads to step 3. I'm sorry, was I done?
You have 1 minute.
Okay. If perception increases objectification, and objectification increases both aggression and justification, then it logically follows that certain conditions, like attire, will influence risk even if they don't determine the necessary outcome. So if we're serious about understanding reality, right, not just what should happen, right, not saying that we want this to happen, just what actually is happening in our reality, then we have to follow the chain. And the chain is attire influences perception, perception influences objectification, and objectification influences behavior. Done.
Alrighty. Wonderful. That was wonderful. Now we have the 3-minute critique rebuttal. Okay. Bex, right? You're next since you
Yeah.
went. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, Bex, start now.
Just to be clear, I have a couple questions here, Tyler. Are you justifying rape on the premise that women's clothing makes men irrational agents?
No.
All right. And do you believe that the person who commits the assault is fully responsible for that action?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Clothing causes sexual assault or only that it influences perception?
That it increases the probability.
Okay. Do you believe that feeling attraction or perceiving something gives someone justification to act on it?
Absolutely not.
If clothing can be considered a factor, where do you draw the line? What specific types of clothing create moral relevance?
Which one? I mean, this is going to be like contextual based on whatever at the time. Like it's going to be different depending on like in 1773 versus in 2026. It's just whoever like believes that this is more sexually promiscuous given that like time frame. So it's going to change given like whatever era we're in.
So you're admitting that it's subjective.
It's obviously subjective, but it doesn't change the outcome.
So in today's society, like what would you declare as like using today's society with the question, what would you consider?
Yeah, it's not about what I would declare. It's just what the studies show when she wears what they deem to be more revealing, showing more skin, when they wear tighter fitting clothing, when they wear like skirts that are higher versus wearing jeans. These are the things that increase it.
And you keep saying they. Can I just have you clarify who is they? Let's declare in these.
Yeah, I have a myriad of sources. Which ones do you want?
Oh, you said what? Depending on what they, if she wears a
The researchers. Yeah.
Okay, the researchers. Thank you. Can you point to any evidence that clothing predicts sexual assault rates? Not just how people perceive victims after the fact.
That is how you prove it.
Okay. And you have evidence? I'm specifically asking for evidence.
Yes, I have evidence.
Okay. Is there a source I can look up myself?
Yes, that's what I said.
I know I'm asking.
Like, do you want these sources right
yes,
now?
I want the source. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I have 10 here ready to go. One is Dress and Sex, a review of empirical research involving human participants. It shows that clothing changes perception, sexual inference. Inference and objectification. They also say in here.
Time.
Okay.
3 minutes.
We can get more into that when it's open.
It's your turn to go back at me now.
So Bluntman starting now.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Because I have to go back because I just went to those sources. I have to just go back to
I'm sorry.
No worries. Tell me one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Start.
Okay. So first of all, from your opening statement here, just a few things that you said. None of them actually refute my argument. First, when you're talking about it's about power, not clothing, that's not really a rebuttal, right? That's just a false choice. Those things are not mutually exclusive, right? It can be both about power and clothing can also be a factor. Power and control are obviously major motivations, but the question isn't why someone does it internally. The question is what affects how they perceive and choose targets externally, right? And if perception shifts, like seeing someone as more sexual, less agenic, or just more then that can absolutely interact with the power dynamics that we're talking about here. So that's gonna be my first thing. What's the next thing I wrote down that you said that you said that 1 in 4 women stat. I've gone over this multiple times. 1 in 4 women are not assaulted. You don't have any data that shows that conclusively. What you do have is something from like a RAIN stat or the NSRVSC or whatever it is, the National Victimization Survey. Hold on, don't interrupt. And that's based on self-reported surveys. That's not confirmed incidents, right? It is only that they reported that something happened to them, right? So if you said something like 1 in 4 women report that it happens or say that it happens, that would be accurate, but you can't actually say 1 in 4 women are assaulted. You don't have any evidence of that. Third, I wrote this down here. You brought up smiling. I think that actually helps my argument, not yours. Like, yeah, sure. Like, I think that smiling can influence how someone is perceived. And it can also be misinterpreted as interest. I mean, I don't think that many women would say that like would be hard pressed to say that a woman who is like smiling at a man, like sometimes the man takes that as flirtation. I think that many women, most of them, you probably have said the same, that they think that it's flirtation, right? It influences perception. Clothing is just a stronger, more consistent signal, I think, than something like just a smile, which is like temporary and kind of ambiguous. What was the last thing I wrote down here? That we don't talk about what men were wearing. That's just because men and women are not treated the same in this context. Men are far less likely to be sexually objectified in the same way, at least from the data that we have access to. And the entire body of research shows that objectification is a key factor in aggression towards women specifically. But we're not talking about men, we're talking about women. So we just need to stay on topic. I don't think I wrote down anything else here. Yeah, man. I mean, it seems like you're just trying to argue that because clothing...
Time.
Oh, sorry. Hello,
Righty, y'all want to get a glass of water or anything? Now we have the 30-minute open dialogue, okay? Bex, it's going to be you. Let me get it to 30 minutes. Some water, breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Bex, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, start 30 minutes. I mean, oh, wait. Start the 30 minutes. Go ahead, both of you.
All right. So
we're 30 minutes in?
No, we've got 30 minutes of open dialogue now.
All right. Do you want those sources?
Yes.
All right. Dress and Sex, a review of empirical research involving human participants. That's going to be 1. 2, insights into men's sexual aggression towards women, dehumanization and objectification. 3, the objective my aggression, sexual objectification increases physical aggression towards women. 4, sexy clothing and perceived competence, effects on performance evaluations. 5, seeing women as objects, the link between sexualization and reduced mental or elsewhere.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So going back to what you had said about earlier about seeing grape, with the whole topic on seeing grape with clothing involved. If clothing plays such a significant role in this, why do we see it happen at such high numbers in modest cultures? In modest cultures?
Which modest cultures? Because there are cultures that actually have very low rates of it. Like when you're talking about places like Saudi Arabia and like almost most of them, I think there may be 1 or 2, but most like Muslim dominated countries where they have like over 90% that these women are that the country is Muslim, like there's far less assaults per capita versus like here in America. So like, what do you mean?
I'm going to go ahead and look up the numbers in Saudi Arabia just to have an idea. If I would, give me 1 second. So let me pull this up and go to my next point. So you're arguing that perception plays a huge role here, but perception can shape thoughts, but it doesn't override choice. And if it did, we couldn't hold anyone accountable for anything, right? So at that point, clothing wouldn't explain sexual assault. It's decision making, right? at its end.
It's decision making.
Yes, because in the end,
it's
your perception of someone does not limit your ability to make a choice in the act, right? So if we're arguing that perception allows for this to happen, or perception shapes the way this happens, wouldn't that take away the accountability from the choice being made to?
No, again, it's not taking away accountability. Both of these things can operate at the same time, right? So you can still say that, like, this man, like if you're saying like men should control themselves or that they're responsible, like I agree. Like they are still the person that's assaulting. They should still control themselves for sure. But the thing is that that's a moral statement. I'm not making some prescriptive claim. I'm making a descriptive claim about behavior. Reality doesn't always match our ideals. So whether or not we want something to happen or even not happen, it doesn't affect like what's actually happening in our reality. There are certain things that we can do, right? So I think that it's okay to say, hey, this is the man's fault. The man is the one who assaulted you. You did not assault yourself. It's their fault. But also saying, hey, there are ways that you can go ahead and like minimize these things happening to you, right? So like the same way that like just because I think that it's okay to say like people should not steal. Does that mean that we shouldn't lock our fucking doors? Like, I mean, that's obviously ridiculous, right?
Right, but if locking our doors might does it okay, so if you're
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question because you asked me a couple. So let me ask you something because you said something earlier that's really interesting. Do you agree that like how people are perceived affects how they're treated?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So perception affects behavior.
Yes.
Okay, that's my whole argument. Is that perception affects behavior? Like, I mean, do you think that people act differently if they believe someone is more, like, let's say, sexually interested in them?
Yes.
Okay, so sexual perception changes behavior too. Okay, do you think it's easier to treat someone poorly if you don't fully see them as a person?
Yes. Dehumanization.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So reducing someone's humanity affects how they're treated. Okay. Do you believe that all situations carry the exact same level of risk?
Say that again. I'm sorry. There's a bunch of noise outside.
Do you believe that like all situations that we have carry the exact same level of risk?
No.
Okay. So risk changes depending on the conditions. Okay. Do you think that clothing can influence how someone is perceived?
Yes.
Okay. So clothing affects perception. Like it seems like we've established this. Perception affects behavior. Sexual perception changes behavior. Reducing someone to a body affects how they're treated. You agree? And risk changes depending on the conditions. And you just agreed that clothing affects perception. So if clothing affects perception and perception affects behavior, then clothing will affect behavior. Like that's my argument. You just agreed with me.
Right. So the issue is that we're linking this back to sexual assault, right? So all of that can be true, but using all that to remove the accountability from the woman and or remove accountability from the man and place it all on the woman for being a risk factor is where you lose me. There,
Say that again. I didn't hear you. My fucking dog is shrinking. Hey! Do you have to do that right now? Can you do that a little bit later? He's eating, actually.
I know I got a bunch of noise out here.
Motherfucker eats all day.
So we can agree that the perception on all this is there, but to take this into sexual assault and take the accountability off the man for the actions based on the risk factors is where you lose me.
Yeah, but again, I'm not, like, I've already addressed this. I'm not taking accountability away from anyone. I'm already saying, I've said, I think a couple of times now, that they are accountable. I'm just saying that something just happens to be the case, right? You happen to be more likely to be assaulted if you wear certain clothing. I'm not saying I want it to be. I wish that it wasn't. I'm just saying it just happens to be a fact of the matter. I'm not making any moral claims here. I'm only saying this happens. And if we want this to happen less, there are many things we can do, right? Not even like, obviously, like we can change the perception of like even objectifying women in the first place and trying to reroute that. That's absolutely something that we should be doing. I'm just saying that this happens to be true.
Okay. Uh, all right. So the argument is just that at this point, perception is your argument is just that perception in this is. I think where I'm confused is that let me think about how I want to word this.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like if I could analogize this, I'm saying like people get into car accidents while driving the speed limit. Okay, like that's true, but that doesn't mean that speeding doesn't increase the risk, right? We don't look at individual examples. Like we look at how changing this thing affects probability. Like people still get fucking sunburn, like when wearing sunscreen. That doesn't mean that sunscreen doesn't reduce risk. It just means that the risk isn't eliminated. So I'm not saying that like that by wearing more modest clothing is necessarily going to mean that this woman is not going to be great. That's not what I'm saying. That's not my claim. My claim is just that the evidence shows that what you wear matters, right? You're perceived differently. We all agree to this. That's why we wear different things certain places. That's why you wear different clothing when you go to places like church, right? You're perceived differently, right? There's myriad of studies that'll show you that even men, when men wear things like suits, like a nice tailored suit, he is perceived differently. He is talked to differently. Right. This just happens to be human behavior. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying it happens. And this is just the psyche of the human mind. So yes, unfortunately, when women wear certain things, whether I agree with it or not, it just happens to increase her chances of being assaulted.
So are we arguing at this point that due to perception, men become irrational thinkers?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Due to perception, men become irrational actors.
Due to perception, men become irrational actors?
Yeah, they can no longer make a rational choice based on what a woman is wearing.
Oh, no, they definitely can.
So again, a woman who is expressing herself through freedom of expression, right, should hold some sort of accountability for her risk factor on wearing what she wants to wear because men can't make the appropriate choice.
Out of accountability. I would say that I don't know if I would necessarily frame it that way. I think I'd probably frame it like due to women understanding that we men fuck up a lot and that we look at you a certain way that we likely shouldn't be looking at you a certain way. Just because we happen to be doing these things, there are things that you can do and maybe would want to consider doing to minimize those things happening. And I think that there are other things. It's not just about clothing. I think that there are other things that women should do also. I mean, I think self-defense classes are great. I think carrying a firearm is great. I think not going to like sleazy bars, getting, piss-faced drunk when you're the only one there and are easy pickings for the predators is probably a good thing to not do. And again, I'm not saying you don't have the right to do it. I'm not even saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm only saying that there are things that obviously increase you becoming a victim. I'm not justifying it. I don't think it's good. It just is.
So what you're saying is basically that men cannot be trusted to make good choices on any length, and any man is capable of doing this based on the perception of the woman. You're shifting blame completely onto a woman for accountability on a man's making a choice.
I don't know how many times I have to say that I'm not shifting blame. I think I've said this is probably going to be my fourth time. I haven't shifted blame at all. I think I've said now it's actually becoming kind of like redundant here. Like I've said multiple times that this is the attacker, that they hold the responsibility of attacking someone and need to be held to the highest extent of the law. I'm just saying that by doing these things, it will increase this happening. That's it. That's my whole argument. You keep trying to shift to other arguments that have nothing to do with the scope of this discussion. This discussion is just, does a woman's attire increase her chances of assault? Yes or no? You already conceded to me 15 minutes ago. I don't even know why we're still continuing. The debate is over.
Okay, so the debate can be over in your opinion, but what I'm hearing through all of this is that a woman should have to be responsible for limiting the risks of being attacked by a man who cannot make decent choices based on what she's wearing.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that men are going to continue doing this. We should try to figure out a way to stop men from doing this, but that's a separate conversation of what we need to do as far as raising our children right, raising our young boys right, taking a look at other factors of what's influencing men to think this way other than what a woman decides to wear, dress, smile, not smile. We definitely need to look at those things, but that doesn't mean that this is also not true. This is still true. It still increases the likelihood that she's going to be assaulted. I'm not even making any claims of what she should do. I'm not saying that she shouldn't wear revealing of clothing, or that she shouldn't, learn self-defense, or that she shouldn't carry a firearm. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you that this happens to lead to this more.
So if we take this into consideration, I'm hear you. So more often than not, if women dress a certain way, they are more likely to be assaulted. Is that correct?
Say that one more time. I didn't hear that part.
That per this conversation, women are more likely to be assaulted based on how they dress, right?
Yes.
By who?
But what do you mean by who?
Who is assaulting the women?
Who is assaulting the women? They're not always men, but they're majority men.
Okay. So if women dress the way they want to, and it increases the risks of them being harmed by men, who is the issue?
I don't know why you keep saying these questions to think that this is trapping me. I've already admitted this is now the 5th time. I want everybody to hear this.
I get it.
This is the fifth. Hold on, don't interrupt. This is now the 5th time that I've said the man is to blame. The man is to blame. He is responsible. He raped her. He should never have done it. Should never have done any of those things. Nothing will justify this man doing that. I don't know why I keep having to answer this question. That has nothing to do with anything. This is not a moral discussion. This discussion isn't should a woman's attire increase her chances of assault. This discussion is does a woman's attire increase her chances of assault. This is not prescriptive. This is not a moralistic claim. It's just a fact of the matter that it does.
Okay.
And you agree with that, right?
That women's clothing changes the perception of her?
That women's clothing, what she chooses to wear, changes the perception. That perception leads to objectification. That objectification leads to more aggression, which is more assaults.
15 minutes.
Right. I do agree. Huh, Belle?
15 minutes.
We're not going to need that long. So, yes. Well, I'm sorry. Say that again, Belle, completely.
Yeah. So the whole claim is that what a woman wears changes the perception. That perception increases objectification. That objectification increases justification of harming her, and that harm happens.
Yes. So I agree that.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Concession.
You didn't want to be interrupted, but you're interrupting me.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you said okay. Go ahead.
So, yes, I do agree that there is a huge problem with dehumanization in women and objectifying women in this country. I do agree with that. I absolutely do. I think that the issue, I think that we are arguing two separate issues, and we did from the start, whereas the claim that this all leads to assaulting a woman, while it might, I did not find any stats, but I will read your sources as well, that support that. There is no credible peer-reviewed research that establishes clothing as a casual factor in sexual assault from what I could find. I do agree that perception can happen with clothing, that's absolutely a thing, but the linking it back to the fact that it's going to cause this is the issue for me. And I think that maybe that's a bigger conversation of the fact that we've allowed this perception to get this far. So I do think that shifting this blame onto women for any of the amount of risk factors takes away like accountability. I think that risk factors should be taken into consideration, but in regards to the act of SA, I think that more or less what this argument boils down to me, which is not your argument, is the fact that men cannot control themselves. Really, they can't act as rational agents in this situation, and that's sad, honestly. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, we shouldn't not blame the men that are raping them. Yeah, we need to blame them. But I think that it's important, and I think that you would probably agree with me, like even when we blame the men, don't you think it's important for women to know the things that increase the likelihood of something happening? Like, if I told you, like, hey, there are two different ways that you could drive home. You could drive home through this neighborhood, or you could drive through that neighborhood. You have the right, the absolute right, to drive through either neighborhood, whichever one you want. But if you drive through neighborhood B, you are far more likely to be assaulted. Wouldn't you want to know that?
yeah, I think that knowing the risks are good, but I also think that in this conversation, on a very real level, in a situation where we have such high SA happening in this country and globally as a whole, the fact that we are focusing on the risk and women instead of the accountability and holding men to the standard that this is unacceptable is where the entire problem lies. Because until we get to a point where we hold men accountable instead of constantly focusing on the risks women take, we are encouraging this to continue happening. We are encouraging the conversation to focus on women instead of men, and we are not helping women report or the issue to become fixed at all. Because we would rather focus on women and how they put themselves at risk than holding men accountable for the actions that they do. And I understand that you said that we should hold them accountable, but the focus of this conversation is women and the risks instead of holding men accountable. And that's where my frustration lies, because honestly, the subject of this debate should be holding men accountable and not the risks that come to women.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't know if you have any more or anything like that, if we wanted to go into closing.
I do want to just, so would we hold the, no, it's fine. I don't want to go there.
No, we still got time if you want to ask me anything.
I think that I find that this only holds true for women, right? We never talk about what men are wearing when this happens. We don't talk about what children are wearing when this happens to children. Like, we only hold women to this accountability of, like, what did they put themselves into to cause something to happen to them, when the choice is made by the perpetrator and not the victim.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So why is the risk factor only held to women?
I think that's a later discussion to figure out, like, why that happens to be. I'm not certain what that is. That wasn't what I prepared for, because that's not what this debate is about. I think that that's a good conversation to have, and I'd be happy to explore it later.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do that next time.
But yeah, Belle, I think that we're saying that we're good with the rest of the time. We could just go into closing.
Okay, absolutely. All right. So 5-minute closing.
He goes first because I started.
Okay. All right, Bluntman, ready? Start.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't even prepare a 5-minute closing. I just, I think that the point here was proven. I think that Bex ultimately agrees with me. She did agree with me. I think that her points are valid when it comes to, we do need to focus on, men not assaulting women. I think that that's absolutely true. But that's not what this debate is about. This debate is just about, does a woman's attire increase her chances of assault? And it does. I showed through empirically proven data, which I gave sources to. And by the way, Bex, FYI, 2 of those are peer reviewed. So you can take a look at that as well. So And the claim was simple, was just that a woman's attire increases the chances of her being assaulted due to how the attire affects perception and behavior, right? Attire will influence perception. We all know that to be true. People will treat you different. This goes for both men and women. But for women specifically, it increases objectification if she wears things that society seems to deem as a little bit more promiscuous, a little bit more revealing, and that objectification increases the aggression and the tolerance for that harmful behavior towards them. So, that tolerance just raises the likelihood of assault. I don't want it to be. It just happens to be the case. I appreciate the, the opportunity to be here. First fucking Thunder debate on the platform, red room and blue room. That's fucking awesome. And I guess that's it.
All right. You forfeit the rest of your time because you have like 3 more minutes.
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So Bex, your turn starting now.
All right. So we've covered a lot, but the core issue is actually very simple. SA is not caused by clothing. It is caused by a person choosing to violate another person's autonomy. When we shift focus from the offender to the victim, questioning what they wore, how they acted, or what they said, we are not preventing assault. We are redirecting responsibility. We already know that SA is underreported, in part because victims fear not being believed or being blamed. So we have to ask, do we want more accountability or do we want more silence? Because if clothing can be used to explain assault, then anything can. Appearance, behavior, or even presence. And once everything becomes a justification, responsibility disappears. This is not about attraction. It's about power, control, and the decision to act. We call this a free society, but freedom means nothing if someone can lose their autonomy based on how they choose to express themselves. Across law, psychology, and criminology, the evidence is consistent. Sexual assault is driven by perpetrator behavior, not victim expression. Clothing is not consent. Expression is not invitation. And who commits the harm every time. And I concede.
Perfect.
All right.
You're all done.
First Thunder debate.
I think you guys both did a great job, a wonderful job. Thank you to everyone for being here with Red Room, Blue Room.
People up, because I know people are going to want to come up and talk about it and all that stuff. Have the judges there? You said you got 3 of them, right? Like, did they make the decision?
Give me 1 second, please. I will let you know.
I want to know what my points are.
All right, they'll be sending it to me soon, very shortly. Go ahead. If y'all want to continue something or whatever.
Okay. Then I don't know what you guys usually do. Do you usually bring people up, or what do you guys do?
Yes, people can come up. Anybody want to come up, just request. Yeah. For fuck's sake. Oh shit, I was muted.
Okay, Blunt Man, I'll actually give you that. You 8.
Sorry, 1 second, please mute. So I've got the results.
Okay.
Who do you want first?
Ladies first.
All right. Bex is at 17, and you are at 30, Bluntman. Do you want to know
30 of how many?
So let me go through the points. So Bex, do we read out the thing?
What's the total amount that I can get?
You don't. I don't think you read it out. I think you just get the points.
Yeah.
30 out of how many?
Congratulations, Bluntman. I think
Thank you.
it's 30
out of how many?
I think it's 30 out. There's 5 for each 6 categories, so 35.
Yeah.
35?
30? No, it's 30 of 30. I'm sorry.
It's 30? A perfect score! Oh! Woo! Hey, whatever I said about those judges earlier, that those judges weren't shit, they really pulled up tonight. So shout out to the motherfucking judges.
You did that. I'll give it to you. You ate that.
Thank you. I would like to thank, obviously, I want to thank God above all else for giving me the gift of just genius. I would like to thank God for that. And I would like to thank the red room, blue room for letting this shit happen. Because you know what? Not a lot of platforms allow Bluntman on there. right? So I appreciate them allowing Bluntman on the platform to
Can I
debate.
say, you remind me of the dude I used to rival with at Aliquippa. You remind me of him. He was my rival. We were both the top in our debate classes, and you remind me so much of him. How articulate you are and how you put your points together. You remind me of him. His name was Dustin. You remind me so much of him.
I don't think he's available, miss. Pull it down, please. Well, but what I was going to say is that instead of reading, why don't we write about our issues in Queen's new published book, Cuss and Clarity.
Yeah,
T-Bone, are
straight
you
up
there?
a word from our sponsors, yeah.
Hold
No,
on
for
one second,
real.
please. T-Bone, are you there? Can you please get back? Anybody else want to come up? No, 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 no.
Was that what you were singing? Because I heard it.
Yep, that's right. Y'all did a wonderful.
It was. They both had great points, but Bluntman, I gotta say, he just articulated his a little bit better. Like I could say, his points came off more concise. Like he was.
It's honestly my fault for not clarifying the premise. He gave me the opportunity and I didn't. So
He clarified about 5 times throughout the.
I was really speaking. Thank you. So before we had this debate today, right? Before when I was writing my points and all that, I didn't clarify, and that was my bad.
Like that's the only reason why I feel like you lost. Like I feel like he had like put his together.
So T-Bone,
slightly
$50. I think my sponsors messaged you about that. Let's drop Bex for 5 minutes, please. Bex for 5 minutes. My sponsor had messaged you earlier today, T-Bone, if you're there. And if you want to drop me again, little girl, you can pay for it. But Bluntman, that was a really great job, but he had reminded you many times what he meant, and you didn't engage with it.
I feel like there's like a rivalry going on right here. You guys have like some beef or something?
No, I told you, Bluntman. I told you, people want me to lose more than they want you to lose.
I have more long-standing with you.
100% people wanted me to lose more than they wanted you to lose. So eat that up.
So Bluntman, Bex here's been a long-standing friend of mine. You and I have been long-standing enemies. I'm just being honest. I'm just being so honest that, geez Louise, the concession, I mean, within 20 minutes, I clocked it, 23 minutes, concession. I mean, what? Come on.
I was going to say, I recorded it if y'all want it.
Clocked it. I mean, 23 minutes, I agree to his entire premise. Okay.
He did kind of eat on the technicality that he said that the perception change of they perceive you different, so therefore he.
I'm not even gonna lie.
He kind of ate that with the perceiving and the perception part. He ate that.
I've never been a humble man. It's just not in my nature. I did eat, didn't I?
You did.
Some
you
of that,
ate,
most of that shit I was coming up with off the top
of
my head. I was like,
I gave you that little one.
And after I said the shit, after I said it, I was like, damn, you come up with some good shit.
You said the man's perception of them changes based on what they wear, and you ate that. I cannot take that away because you are not lying.
Okay.
You ate that little one. I have to give somebody their tens when it's due. I'm not no hater. That's why I say you ate that one. I got ate up one time by Dustin because he got off with a technicality. That's why I said you remind me of him. You're smart with your words. You're very, very, very smart with your words, and I love that for you.
I don't mean to take away. And Mimi, I have $50 protection, sweetheart, more than a money gun. But I will say to you, I just don't want to take away your victory, Bluntman. But I can't decide if it was that you were such a good performer or that she sucked so much. But
bro, this is fucking wild, bro. This is crazy,
no, because the way he ate off the fact that he said their perception of you changes based off of what you're wearing.
Bex, he coming for you, Bex. You see that?
I said, oh yeah.
Told you, Bluntman.
Oh, yeah, he did his homework.
The people will be here to watch me lose, not to watch someone win.
I said he did his homework. Once he said that one little line, I said, oh, he did his homework. he looked some shit up real quick. I was like, oh, okay. Because he really ate that. He said their perception of you changes. Then he pulled up the study, and it was accurate because I know it. As soon as he said it, I knew what he was talking about. I knew
You knew
exactly
it.
which study he. Yep, I knew it. I was like,
Can I
damn, why
can I
do you
get
eat that?
can I get the
He
big
ate all
box?
the way.
Can I get the big box for 1 second? Because they're asking about my debate with Ducky, if that's happening at 9 o'clock. I just want to show this real quick, please. Can I get the can a mod put me in the big box, please? Little big box. Mod.
Hold on.
Y'all, they grape
Yeah.
old women too. What are we talking about?
Sake. There you go, Bluntman.
Duffy fucking forfeited. Okay, it is canceled.
For real?
It's over. Yeah, he fucking forfeited. So that's it. You know, that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Y'all know y'all adding to the pollution using that AI. Y'all adding to the pollution.
Nobody else wants to
And
come
they
up.
tasting
Well,
chemicals.
and here's what I'll say as a compliment, Bex. I do admire, like, no matter what, it takes some cojones to put yourself out there and debate she just did. So,
Guys,
if I'm
real
going to give
quick,
you a compliment, here it is. That's it.
real quick, I forgot about the forfeiting rule as well, and that Ducky debate was also a Thunder debate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Copy. So that means Bluntman gets like hella. That's
Where's my S plus, T-Bone?
Oh,
We'll
he's
talk
trying to go Super Saiyan Goku.
Let's go.
And y'all know what I'm talking about if you play Dragon Ball Z the game.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nobody else wants to come up. Nobody wants to debate nothing. Nobody wants to talk about nothing. Damn, y'all real quiet, man. Yeah,
Ooh.
Steph.
Can we debate TV or movies and certain stuff? Can we debate Harry Potter, good or bad?
What up, Mike?
This is
Bro,
political debate.
listen, Bluntman is my motherfucking dog, okay? But can we shut down the fucking Krispy Kreme donuts over fucking sized load of fucking dump truck glaze getting
Listen,
dumped
man.
right now?
Listen.
Holy shit, dude.
Can I just get my props, dog? Can I just
No, I hear you, bro. No, bro, flowers for you, bro. Believe me, it was cool, bro. It was good shit.
Mike,
Like,
but no, hold on. I don't think you're taking into consideration all the fucking hate I get on this app. Okay.
no, I hear you.
So can I just get a couple of minutes, Mike? Damn.
You know what? I got you. My bad, bro. Bask in it. My
Can I
bad.
get a
You know
couple
what?
of minutes, dog?
You know what? Let's. Oh shit, she got.
You took off the chick who was constantly complimenting me, bro. You made her uncomfortable. Now she left.
Yeah, bro. No, bro. I was feeling uncomfortable. I was like, God damn, bro.
Oh man.
Oh man.
But listen, Bex, I fucking told you. I told you that the position, this isn't a moral one. And I knew that you were going to go down this moral road. And I was like, oh, bro, this is not a moral discussion. This is just a discussion on what is. Does this happen? Yes. That's why these ones are difficult. So when you asked me earlier, like, do I think that you would, I forgot what you said, something about questioning me or something, or contradicting something. And I said that it would be difficult with this one because this isn't like abortion where we're arguing our own like moral positions. This is just like, does this happen? Yes. Oh, well, fuck. Okay. Shit's over. Like, it happens. You know? It's difficult.
No, I already said I should have when you asked me yesterday if I wanted your premise, I should have said yes because
I told you.
I know it's fine. I told you that. It's fine because I think that I think that you went a different direction than I expected you to, and that's fine.
You know, I was half expecting you to bring up that, because just like that one chick said, like they bring this up all the time, that fucking museum shit with the museum of whatever. If you'd have brought that shit up, I would have fucking torn to that.
I did not have it in my notes. And I think it's funny just for the chat that people think that because like I wrote like my thoughts down and prepared that it's Chat GPT. And I think that's so funny. And that's fine. People can think whatever they want. But, you know, you actually do like take Like most people prepare for these, even Bluntman prepared for it. So
yeah, I prepared my 5-minute thing. The other shit was kind of just more like I have my sources and I know what to talk about. But like as far as my opening, yeah, bro, I
like you worked like an hour and a half on that shit.
Yeah, bro, I wrote down my shit and then yeah, man.
No, I had like a whole place, but like I said, if I had realized, I think that had I realized earlier that exactly where you were going with it, I would have gone a very different direction. But it's okay. It's totally fine.
Bex, can you take over till I come back? Because I have to go.
Put T-Bone back in the big
Yeah.
box.
I can't put T-Bone in the big box. He has to do it himself.
Oh, yeah. LOSC. I was going to be a dick, and as soon as I was finished, I was going to play that loser. That's going to be like, you're a loser.
That would have made it better.
LOSC. Oh, shit. So anyway, now that we still have almost 100 people here, now's the time to promo yourself, Beck. So, listen, Red Room, Blue Room, put on for it. Get some people. We need more debaters, all that shit.
I put it up. I do want to just say this. I'm going to make one statement here. People want to talk about me, but I don't see anybody challenging Bluntman. The only motherfucker that has been brave enough to go against Bluntman so far is me. Everybody else I've gone to debate Bluntman wouldn't take it. The reason I took this debate was because no one else would debate him. Right? So all these people that, Bex, you should have won this. Bex, you should have done this. Bex, you could have done it. Get up here and debate him. Get up here and debate him.
That is true.
Because you fucking won't.
Just a reminder.
Why do we have a Down syndrome chick?
There was a man who actually backed out of the race and a woman challenged him.
No, so real.
Exactly. A man backed out, the woman stepped up, and I still don't hear anybody challenging him. So at least some of us are willing to take an L publicly for the fact of learning and getting better, which is what I've always said.
Hell yeah. But here,
I do consider Bluntman a better debater than me, and debating up has always been my game. So
let me tell you something.
I'm going to challenge above me. I'm F tier, just to be clear. I'm not S tier. I am F tier.
Stop. So, couple of things. One, it is rare that even and I think everybody here will fucking admit this shit. When you have a debate, even when someone agrees to a fucking syllogism, they don't fucking concede. When they see that they're wrong, they don't fucking concede, right? Like Bex at least was like, look, okay, I agree, I concede. So we can make fun of her.
She didn't know she was the first time at all. She was so confused and it was obvious.
You mean like when she first...
As she said yes, I think she realized maybe what was happening.
I don't know, man.
She had no clue that you had walked her right into it. Because otherwise she would have stopped the argument. Because to concede as hardcore as she did, and to continue said that she had no clue what she had just done. She just kept going on and on about the same point 5 times. I mean, I think you said it 5 or 6 times in. I think maybe then it clicked.
What's up, Rox?
Yo, what's up, Bluntman?
What's going on, man?
I just want to say congratulations and
thanks, man.
Bro, yeah, it's true. The amount of hate you get, when I always bring your name up in debates and everything, Tyler Bluntman, I hate that guy and everything. Bro, you're such you're not just an S tier debater. You're beyond that. You absolutely destroy everyone that you've ever debated.
Oh yeah, pump my ego up, man.
Can we fix the boxes? I cannot stand it when it's like this. Hold on.
No, dude, yeah. I really. Hey, man, let me tell you something, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Just because, and no woe for me, no sad stories for me. It's not what I'm saying. It's just it does I don't know. Robert might know. He's had almost 1 million followers. So anybody who's had a bunch of followers. I'm not saying you have to have this just by having followers, but when you start making content and you start debating and people start knowing who you are a little bit, hate, bro, from a lot of people that fucking DM you saying that they wish that your daughter was raped and all kinds of crazy shit. And they'll slander you. They'll do all this shit, which is fine, bro. That's what I signed up for. I acknowledge that that's going to happen. So I don't I don't bitch about it. But when someone actually says, yo, good job, yeah, I mean, you are a decent debater, that's really cool, bro. So I really appreciate it, Rox, man. You're fucking awesome for.
No. Yeah, no problem, bro. Like I get it. Like there's something like I'm not the debater type person, but there's this app that I'm in that's like singing and everything, and I got a lot of followers and everything there, and there's people that are like, oh, I wish you would kill yourself, you suck at singing, and then there are some, that give you your praises, and it's always good to hear, people like giving you your roses, basically,
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And thank you for coming up, bro. Thank you for listening. And yeah, bro, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Bluntman is looking for someone
I just wanted to pitch an idea for you guys. And possibly if it could be a 2-hour debate.
Holy shit.
I really want to see Bluntman versus Adorna. Like,
Who?
That.
Yes.
Adorna.
Who the hell is
she
that?
debates on the black.
On the black?
on blacks.
Yeah,
black
like
stuff.
the
On
black
blacks?
debate.
Is she good?
She's
is
very
really
she's
good.
very
She
smart.
is like,
Is she?
yeah, and she does her research, like she does her homework.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
She's probably not as clever as
definitely
you
would
in
like to see
debate,
that
but
one.
she might even be smarter
is she
than
one
you
of
just
those
generally.
is she one of those chicks who says that blacks can't be racist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So listen, if y'all know who she is, because I do not, but if you guys are saying that she is legit and you guys would want to see that shit, then why don't you guys, who all are friends with her or follow her or whatever, why don't you put some pressure on her and say that she should come over to the red room, blue room and debate Tyler Bluntman?
Yes.
We can set that shit up for I'm about to move in a couple of days, but maybe early next week or something.
Is this your like 50th account now?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
All right.
All right, take it easy, Rox.
Yep, later, bro. All right.
Is that Memphis?
Yeah, that's Memphis.
It's Memphis? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one bar.
Hear me
bro.
okay?
Sort of.
Yeah, sorry.
What I will say, like in I don't know, my thoughts, Bluntman too, is I think to a lot of people, since if they haven't seen you debate in a while, you held yourself impeccably. So like, it's to say, if we hadn't seen you debate in a while, you might think that you're a little bit more bombastic, and I think that you really probably impressed a lot of people in that way today.
Yeah,
The way
appreciate
you
it.
conducted yourself.
Yeah, I think that when I generally am just getting on a random panel and I'm just bored and I just want to antagonize and trigger a couple of people, I would agree that doesn't show the scope of my like actual debating if I'm having like a structured debate. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Anyway,
Hey,
Memphis,
sorry.
what's up, man?
Man, I can't call it. Hey, I had to tune out after the first 20 minutes, but I want to say I went ahead and just go ahead and scored it for Bex, clean sweep. What was the final outcome?
30-17.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah. How else did it go?
No, it was good, bro. Like, I mean,
Okay, good.
I think that Bex is more just on the don't blame women tip, and I'm just like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
but like this shit happens, bro.
Yeah, don't blame women outside the scope of like natural biology and like the way we're designed to be attracted to physiques.
Yeah. I can't lie. When I said that one line too, I just came to me, bro. Sometimes it's God working through me, Bex. That's the shit that's happening. Okay. Fucking when I was sitting here, I was like, you know what? I think that women would want to know when they're more in danger. If you can go home and you can go through one neighborhood or the second neighborhood, you have the right to go through both. But one is more dangerous. Would you want to know? Yep. Same thing for clothing, man. You want to know that shit.
Same principle.
Same principle, bro.
Bex, did you, going into the debate, were you debating in earnest? Like, is that like the position you took, a genuine belief you held?
I think that, like I've said like twice already.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Don't repeat yourself. You don't have to.
When we were talking about this just as like an opening act to Ducky, I think that I had a different idea of what the premise was going to be. And we kind of focused on Ducky and I didn't clarify that. So I prepared for slightly different premise. But yeah, had I known that was his premise, I would have prepared differently. But it's okay. Like I said, it's my fault for not clarifying.
Hey, like I said about Ducky, or just anything, in any competition, you're going to learn a whole lot more from your losses than your wins. So you don't lose if you win. I mean, if you learn something.
Well, and I went into this, I told Bluntman from the start, he asked me what I thought my chances were. I said 30%. Like, I would rather debate someone who's better than me and take away from it what I've learned than like always win. Because if I
what did you learn?
Yeah, what were the takeaways for you?
can I not be interrupted? That'd be great. If I who I think are not as good as me and I do it just for W's, then I'm not going to get any better. And I think I preach to people all the time that you should debate up to try to get better. And so I would be a hypocrite if I didn't take my own advice in that way. And I do think Bluntman is a better debater than I am.
So since you conceded, do you agree with him now? I'll take that as a yes, which is natural. When we don't have enough information to present a better argument, naturally a concession and disagreeing with your previous statement and sentiment is appropriate.
Did you guys come up with anything you want to change about the format or kind of the way that it was done?
No, I think the format worked really well. This was the first Thunder debate. And I think that going forward, doing the lightning debates the way that we have been and the Thunder debates with a slightly more structure is a good way to go.
Well, let me ask you,
Tyler. Did you kick Tyler, Bex?
He literally said in the comments, "I'll be back."
Bex, what were you? You asked for some sources pretty early on. What were you hoping to achieve with that? Were you going to try and like look at the source and read the source material during the middle of the debate?
No, I had actually read the source that he had given me first. I just wanted to see if it was the same one that I had.
Okay. That would be the only thing that I would think I would probably change, but I mean, not my show, so not really a big deal. But if you know that people are going to have source material, why not just submit it to the Discord like a minute before the debate, so that
that's what I had actually said that, like, but because I had made a source list that I was going to submit, but after I realized that his premise was not what I was prepared for it to be, then I realized that my sources really didn't matter in that situation.
Got it. And Ducky is still Bluntman and won't debate him?
I don't think Ducky is going to debate him. He is looking for more people to debate, specifically race topics. He has no challengers. I've reached out to people. I've tried to find him a challenger. No one will accept the challenge. Bluntman, which again is why I said, fuck it, I'll debate you. And we picked a topic that wasn't like a standard topic to try to give it an interesting spin.
I still don't know why, the reason 100% why he backed out of that.
Hey, who was the second host after T-Bone of the debate that asked for you to choose heads and then said, all right, now what do you choose? Bluntman, who was that person? I would consider them for a different role, maybe.
That was me. Shut up.
All right, I still got stuff I got to do, but how did the debate go?
Excellent.
It was very decisive. It was on one side. Tyler won.
It was 17-30. but I think it
But
was a great.
Well,
17 is a
and
pretty good score. That's not terrible.
Why
well,
are you?
there was a concession 22 minutes into the debate to the entire premise.
Ah,
Yeah, and then the second one was given 6 minutes later. But who was watching or counting?
well,
What are you
I would
talking
assume
about?
that you
Stop
were,
listening to
Robert.
these. T-Bone, don't listen to these morons.
They're
I'm
The
gonna go
debate
back
morons.
and
was.
watch the replay anyways.
T-Bone,
Well, it doesn't matter.
hone in at 26 minutes. What you're going to see is a concession.
Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Can you get Big T-Bone,
thank
please,
you,
before
Andrew.
you leave
Thank you.
again?
Ooh,
Oh,
Andrew, hell
Andrew,
yeah, thank you.
yes, thank
Sorry,
you, Andy,
I'm teleporting right
baby.
now. I'm not looking at my phone. W. Andrews
I just
in the
want to
chat.
ask a question before moving forward in the
Andy,
chat. How
baby.
many people here think
T-Bone.
that they would have outperformed Bex or performed better than Bex against Bluntman? And if so, why are you guys not requesting debates? That's a
I'm
good
not really an
question,
online
T-Bone. That's
debater
a good question.
personally, but I do have a question about kind of, do you think it would be, for people that can and do show their face on the app, do you think it would be advantageous to do so just because, like, it sounded very chat GPT and reading at the very beginning? I'm not sure if that changed with the kind of the back and forth format in the 30-minute section.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't.
And I addressed this already, Memphis, but just
Oh,
because
sorry. Yeah.
people prepare a statement, just
hmm
because people prepare a statement doesn't mean it's chat GPT. I worked very hard on
Well,
all my shit and
no,
to
no.
no, don't interrupt me because this is actually like disingenuous and this is like taunting somebody, right? I worked very hard on preparing all my information and sources, and I think that telling people they're using chat GPT has gotten to a weird place on this app where
I,
as soon as somebody has any sort of preparation done, people think it's chat GPT. You know what I mean?
I was referring to Tyler.
Oh, I don't think Tyler sounded like ChatGPT either.
Okay. Yeah. No. Either way, it was just a consideration. Either way, I think y'all both did really well.
Hit dogs holla.
I think the next, sorry, that was squeaky. I think the next Thunder debate is me and Shawnee next week.
What's y'all's topic?
I threw out a layup. He wanted to really have a debate, so I think the premise is the current established democratic systems are failing.
And that's your argument, and then he's going to take other person's going to take the other side.
Well, I guess to be more specific, the current established democracies are failing, and that's my position. Yes.
Interesting. So are you a monarchist now?
In mostly authoritative systeming, but
Let's go.
Monarchy could be among that. Actually, Memphis, I'm gonna send you my open. You want to read it?
Sure.